English language that refers to a lack of belief, a disbelief, or not believing in one particular topic. And so far, nobody has been able to come up with that word. But we can talk about anything.
Just simply say non-believer.
But non-believer in what? That's my question. In what?
Well, it's the same definition that you gave for atheism. So, like, colloquially, right? Like, we use language like this. You automatically know what. Now, you say non-believer. No, let me finish. You want to clarify?
You gotta clarify. What do you not believe? Non-believer.
Yes, and to piggyback on what JCC said, the term non-believer can be used.
Okay, these guys. I mean, I use Grok to get all the answers, to get all the words, and so it's pointless listening to Steve and JCC. But gentlemen, welcome to 250 years of celebration. And I just want to say, if you were to live 125 years, and then you were to live another 125 years, that would be 2 lifetimes to witness all of the glory that America has created and shared with the world.
I'm proud to be American.
I'm proud to be an American.
Proud to be an American. America. And I'm also proud that we're in the Middle East stealing their fucking oil, man. So happy. I'm really happy about that. I'm really happy about liberating Israel to their people. Which I heard the most ridiculous comment the other day. They said the Palestinians have A1 blood.
Yeah, but they don't have like.
I just wanted to start laughing like hysterical. Like,
so you're saying that women extend like they kill all themselves?
Jews that stay within the dysphoria that worries.
And for that, like no woman should. Yeah, you can still state like you can keep some women captive and things like that and do them for procreation. Yeah, you can do that. They still have the force.
The J1s are still there,
yeah,
and they should have the land.
I think his point is like simple and valid.
Like how does that make sense? What do you say, John? I'm gonna repeat the statement. They said the J1s are the Palestinian people.
Yeah, no, that was a super good point that Sully didn't object to. You're right. That was definitely what just happened. Something else. Check my photo.
The J1s, I'm looking at your photo. The J1s, look at that shit. Is he looking at Judaism now?
No.
That kind of looked like he's looking at his, Judaism as his future.
It's like I'm putting on the person. It's like Andrew Tate's putting on the persona of a rabbi.
Yeah, it feels like. It feels like
feels like a widow.
It feels like he's looking at Judaism. I love it.
This is like
Hello.
Oh, definitely.
Hello.
That shit. But what I'm trying to say here is is that these so-called Ishmaelites, can we call them that from here on out? Can we say that? I'd rather say Ishmaelite, because then it's biblical. The outcast, the donkey. Let me go to verse. Let me go to this verse really quick. It says here in Genesis 16:12 about Ishmael. He shall be a wild donkey of a man. Check. His hand against everyone, and everyone's hand against him, and he shall dwell over against all of his brethren. Ishmael is a donkey of a man. Love that they defend that. That's why I think we should just call them Ishmaelites.
Do you mind if we refer to black people as the N-word? He's gone.
Well, you know, let's make this 250-year celebration a meditation. Hello?
Hello, hello. What about instead of saying hello, you could say hello? Hello.
Well, isn't it interesting that the first thing you say to somebody is go to hell?
Hello.
Oh.
Come to you.
Oh, hell?
Hell.
Oh, so nice to meet you. What is your name? Hello.
Damnation to you and hell.
Hell
To
to
you,
you,
sir.
yet.
I was gonna put instead of Andrew Tate, George Floyd, but I'm not sure if that would be problematic.
You're a bitch.
No.
Hey, everybody, I came. Oh, they deleted it. They kicked me. That was a quick one.
They kicked you. They thought, fuck this guy. Just kick him.
Boy to compare to. But
Wasn't that funny when
Oh,
JCC
okay.
booted you and then I was like, wow, what a jerk. And then I got booted.
And you got Stephen Bell to say, I don't know who the fuck you are.
I don't give a rat's ass.
yeah, my sisters were like that. I was pretty low key because I didn't have anybody to base it on. I was like an experiment because I was the first. So I'm already used to kind of like a dramatic family anyway. But I mean, you know, it's just, I mean, there's nothing you can do. Sometimes maybe she just needs to vocalize it. And there's nothing you can do. It's like, okay, you're going through that. Cool. Here's a journal because I got to go do things. Let me know how
I'll
that.
recommend as
Hello?
a man who knows nothing is that'll help as well.
Well, happy 250 years, everybody. I've been watching the C-SPAN ticker tape parade.
Oh my God, where did this guy come from? Oh my God, hopefully that was helpful to you, Anne.
Hello?
Hello.
Hello? Hello? Hello?
A man who is so unbelievably sensitive and realizes how to read the room. Of all people on Clubhouse, you were the most adept at it.
Sensitive man. Good room reader.
Also, if you didn't hear it, it's extreme sarcasm. You're welcome.
You see, when somebody says it's sarcasm, that's when you know it's projection.
Is it though? Is it? Maybe it could be that
You can't be
you see
sarcastic.
the projection and thus you're holding up a mirror and of sarcasm saying, look at that.
No, I mean, the thing is, when I hear
I
projection...
mean, take that in a minute. It may be a little truth there again.
I know that's when you say take it in, give it a minute, you're really telling yourself, you know what? I should take it in and give it a minute. That's projection again.
I do.
It's all projection.
Oh, you take it in.
See, when
Do you
people
give it a minute when you take it?
I am very good at taking it in, yeah.
when people say that,
Wow, I can only imagine.
can anyone here define altruism? I know we probably have a lot of pseudo-intellectuals in this room. Anybody here think they can explain to me the word altruism?
Yeah,
It's like a selfless kindness for other humans.
But is it really so selfless and kind when you have to sacrifice yourself for others? Is that really kind for the self or the other?
It can be. I mean, when you sacrifice eating ice cream, is that kind to your side of you that eats vegetables?
Well, you're Jewish, right?
By birth.
Oh, you're a birth Jew?
I'm a birther.
You're a birther? Well, I was just saying, because Christ Jesus, the Lord and King, he sacrificed himself for the other. So Jesus is really the first true altruist. And, people on this app are very frivolous. And really, they're not really interested in knowledge or trading. And those are the bedrocks of society. So this app lives outside of what you would call polite, traditional society. This is something new. I think, you could call it like pure entertainment because it doesn't cost you anything other than maybe your Wi-Fi or cell phone, to come here to participate in this experience of projection.
Well, you probably think that this app is all about dopamine. But of course, I would be projecting onto you when I said that.
Well, I'm drinking an espresso, and
well, so what you're saying is that I'm drinking an espresso. You're projecting.
I am drinking an espresso. But
I'm drinking an espresso.
But I am not an espresso. I am a man. And as Kristen said, Kristen attacked me as soon as she could.
I thought she was flirting with you.
Oh, you thought that was flirtation?
She said she's really good at taking it in.
Oh. Which hole? So, what I'm trying to say is that on our 250-year celebration, it wasn't until 2026 that Anon became a thing. And then we were able to listen unobstructed to countless people, day in and day out, waste all of their precious little time.
Is today really the 250th? I thought it was on the 4th of July. So I'm retarded.
No, you're not.
Just being retarded.
You're lovely. You're not retarded. You're lovely. I'm not quite sure what he's saying about the 250th. 200 what? What is this about?
The 250th Memorial Day?
Well, I don't know if that's accurate, because when did they begin, you see? Maybe it is, but I don't know enough to say. When did Memorial Day begin? I thought maybe it was after World War II. So, typically it wouldn't be 250th anniversary.
Alan Jean would know. Alan, is today the 250th?
Alan! Is today what?
The 250th Memorial Day?
Who's saying it was?
Edmund.
You've been saying it is?
Edmund.
Oh, Edmund? Nobody's called him Edmund for a while. I remember, we should go back to Edmund.
It is, what's his name? The Kitover. That he was saying that it was the 250th anniversary of Memorial Day, and I have to argue with that, Alan. I don't know. Just because of my own ignorance, because I thought it was Memorial Day. I don't know when exactly it began.
Well, there's this interesting and useful tool called Google. Has no one bothered?
I've never heard of that. What is Google? I've been hearing a lot about it, but
Is it an AI? Is it an AI?
I'm actually quite busy right now. I would think that he would take the time to, if he's going to say such a thing, that he would take the time to.
Yeah, I was watching C-SPAN. There's a big parade happening in Washington, D.C. right now. Alan, I got a quick question for you. Alan.
Well, you're both wrong.
Alan.
Oh, really?
Memorial Day is 158 years old, so no, it's not 250.
Thank you, Alan.
But no, it's not.
Thank you, Elon.
Sometimes
Hello?
It's okay to let
Alan, talking now. The moment.
250th anniversary of the signing of the Declaration of Independence from Great Britain.
Excuse me, Alan is talking right now.
Oh, sorry. Somebody
Just
from
a
my
moment.
somebody from my audience
Just a
wanted me to tell you
Just
that.
a moment. Alan is speaking right now. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. But you are not a moderator.
Yes, but you're not either. So just thank you.
And I was almost done, just in case you were wondering. Sometimes it's okay to let people believe what they want to believe. Now, in the case of someone who says, I'm a trans woman, no, not so much. But believing that Memorial Day has been a tradition that's gone on for hundreds of years, that's kind of a harmless one.
This is the 250th year of America. So you were right about that.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not celebrated until the 4th of June.
Mm-hmm. It's true.
Alan, has a woman ever in your life told you, Alan, I love the way you sound?
Oh, he's still mad. I know what it is, Alan. He's still mad at me because I mentioned that his girlfriend found the room full of cameras and cell phones going, and that's why she broke up.
Hello?
He's a little sore about
Hello?
That's not entirely accurate. I don't believe that she found the room full of cameras so much as she found the YouTube channel full of videos. And then she said, I'm sorry, but I could never introduce you to my parents.
No.
I'm sorry, but you're too insane. I'm sorry. The sex
I met
you got a nice tuchus, but you're too nutty for life.
I met a chick.
Sir, have a good night.
I met a chick who's a comedian, and she has a YouTube channel with 15,000 videos, and she's like a very successful YouTube creator. And she looked at my YouTube. She's like, "Yeah, I could never date you and introduce you to my parents."
Well, I've had similar experiences.
Hello?
first of all, let me just say, I don't think John is ever, and don't take this as a challenge, John, but I don't think John has ever done or said anything to me that would warrant me mocking the way a girlfriend broke up with him. Because if, in fact, a woman broke up with him over the reasons that were just stated, I would think that would be rather hurtful. So I don't think it would be based on what I said so far to mock that up. Even if what you complained about the way it happened. I think to that I would answer no, because usually they love so that would be my response. In myself both morally superior to all of you, yet at the same time responded with a base and sexually charged joke. I'm rather proud of that.
Yeah, how do you view values?
It was okay.
How do you view values in like a dating arrangement? Because a lot of women will say to me, "I need to know your politics before we go out on a date," which is really telling me what are your values. So, in the game of my values are more superior to your values, isn't that just the red flag you're looking for? You know, from a supposed partner, as opposed to like some vacuum consumer creature, you know, from the third layer of hell. Hello?
I think if it were me, first of all, dating is so long. Used to be, do I like this person? Do I like this? Now it's we have 17 years.
I don't mean to interrupt, but can I ask you as a boomer? Can I ask you a boomer question? I hit the wrong button.
Oops, did you?
Very annoying. But I was just going to ask you, Alan, don't you think that boomers were more comfortable canceling each other out politically? Like you could have a husband and wife. Oh, I vote red, she votes blue. We cancel each other out. That's almost like a boomer thing. And nowadays, millennials and generations younger than that, it's like John goes out on a date and they're like, what's your politics? Like it used to be like for people who are 50, 60, 70 years old, like who gives a shit? Like I like this person. Yeah. Like Alan was saying, like I like this person, I get along with them. Who cares if we have different politics? Can we build a life?
Hello?
Who gives a fuck, you know?
Hello?
Let me read
Hello?
a different way. Whether you're compatible with someone depends on a whole host of variables, of which political viewpoints is only one. And now here's the thing, if you're going out with the first thing she says, well, I need to know your political viewpoints, etc. What it's telling you is giving you the information that she is hypersensitive to political viewpoints and what?
No, I just didn't know where you were. I don't usually ask people where they are, so I just never. But since you guys are on the subject, I just wanted to know where you were.
Yeah. But John, if you're still there, yeah, I mean, it's a red flag. Because no, it is, because it's like, and on one hand, I can understand it. On the other hand, well, I can understand it because it's whipped up now to where especially for someone on the left, if
Hello?
you don't agree on my position
Hello?
on transgender
Hello?
then you're
Hello?
people, they're committing suicide. They're being targeted.
Hello?
Et cetera.
Oh, all the things. Okay.
Yeah, right. And it's like, and it's like, I don't want to be with someone who I consider to be a murderer.
My goodness, that's so extreme.
Yeah. Which is, aside from whether or not that is actually true, while it is understandable, political disagreements were never framed in the light of if, quote, if you disagree with me, you're killing people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's very true. So are you experiencing that on the regular?
Me?
Yeah.
No, I'm married.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Alan, would you just
See,
call?
See, this is the thing is that I know that like you speak a lot of it's not a criticism. So this is just an observation. So because it's great to know about people like who they are as people, and some people are very apt to revealing a lot of things about themselves, and sometimes they're not, and that's just fine. But I have yet to really know much about you as a person because you state a lot of things about your thoughts and opinions, but not really divulging. So forgive my ignorance.
No, it's okay, Kristen. I used to reveal a lot, and then I realized personal reveal about yourself may be used against you at a later date, as we just saw. John discussed, let's reveal his phones and his dating, and people were making.
Oh no. See, here's the clever thing that I have to kind of put myself on the back for is he was really cranky, and there's something that happened. He said that I realized, I'm like, oh, his girlfriend broke up with him, and he was really egging me on. He was being very unkind, and so I just heard it was bullshit, and so I put one and one together about his behavior, and I made a calculated guess that he was recently broken up with his girlfriend. It probably had to do with something with the technology that he utilizes, which is very strange. And I was actually correct. That was a guess.
Well, I just want to.
He didn't have to confirm or deny, but he had to.
Hello.
On the other hand,
Hello?
John, I bet you met a girl who looked at your phone setup and said, "Oh my God, this is great."
Exactly.
Well, it's all about the way you frame it. So, like, if I actually start bringing in guests to do like podcast interviews, it just makes it more credible to make it more professional. So, I think the critique of what I'm doing is that it's rather unprofessional, not that it's stupid, but I'm using the technology and the platforms in the way that it's intended to be used, which is, for communication. But again, I just think the critique of my work is maybe it's less than professional, which I think is fine because it's actually a comedy show. And guess who's on it? You.
Yeah, and I put myself out there, and I definitely am comfortable with my vulnerability. And I'm also willing that if somebody wants to use it as a weapon, then go ahead and do so. Just be prepared for the backlash that happens.
Well, John, the only thing I would say is presentation matters. Now, I have two friends, and one of them, they both were in an absolute chaotic mess. And like, the guy felt, I found out later, the guy felt uncomfortable, like there was a dog that was barking, etc. And then he went to the second friend whose house was immaculate, and the guy walked in, and the first thing he said was, "Oh my God, I just beat off these floors." And it was the second friend who got the job. So while it might be a comedy thing, people are very sensitive to these kinds of cues. And in your studio where your setup looks chaotic, people are going to be sensitive to that. Yes, it's true. You have your phones set up and looks professional, wouldn't necessarily affect the way you create content, just as the way the studio looks in my two friends' cases would necessarily affect how well they do their job. But these things still matter. So if you agree with people now that you're dealing with outside parties, then yeah, it might be worth just rearranging things, making things look a little bit more professional, etc., so that, it doesn't, when it goes through so much, that isn't quite the right thing, but that would be my advice.
So, anyways, happy 250 years of celebrating liberty. We got Anne here, an American patriot, Democrat hero, Democrat zero. Personally, I think throughout one's life, it would be politically savvy and expedient to actually change parties, to manipulate the system, because it is a one system. And whether you are on the left or on the right or on the top or on the bottom, it's always in need of adjustment. And sometimes politically savvy people, I'm sure, actually go the opposite route of what they think is their value associated to the party. And so that just means rotation. And, when you see who the Democrat leaders are, what kind of content they create, that's all you need to know. Whenever you just mass produce children into content, you are what they are fighting against. They are always projecting onto Donald Trump and maggots their own actual true interior feelings and desires.
That is true.
So if that's so true, why isn't it more obvious to the millions, hundreds of millions of impressions and views of people who just consume the content of the left, liberal, intellectual, woke, LGBTQ, CRT, BLM, DEI?
Well, I'm just curious, since you and I don't really get along very well, and I just wonder why you sent me a friend request on Instagram. Don't you just want to leave me alone?
Hate to burst your little bubble there, Kristen, but I have no idea who you are. And if I added you...
Yeah, but you do, and it's been twice.
Well, it's just like your opinion, and I don't know who you are.
I mean, you must have people working for you that do things for you. Is that what's going on?
No, what I do is I pick up my phone agnostically, and I don't really know which phone I'm even on because I have 100 phones. And what I do sometimes is when a platform like Instagram auto-suggests someone to follow, sometimes I just sit there and I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I do about 30 ads.
Okay, cool. Well,
Yeah.
I was just wondering
Does that explain?
because it
Great.
definitely is
Thank
a
you.
method.
So happy to
not
have
very
this
nice
little
to me,
chat
but then
with you.
want to be my friend on Instagram, so it's kind of weird.
Oh, that's okay.
How is it, Kristen? You've never heard of the boy dipping the girl's hair in the inkwell because he secretly likes her?
Well, yes, I have, and that's why I kind of wonder, and I'd like to question in public because I'm like, well, quit dipping my hair in ink.
Hello?
Well, his motivations, I don't know, but I did want to say, John, the reason why people aren't onto this is because I'm assuming your IQ is over 100, and I'll assume it's even over 110.
Hello?
And you have to have a certain IQ
Hello?
in order to understand the statement that you just made about people projecting their own feelings onto others. It not only requires a higher IQ, but it also involves an understanding of psychology, projection, how people think and work, and how people operate emotionally, etc., etc. And if you're wanting to discuss this with people, then you need to package it so that the average intelligence in the U.S. is 98. So you need to package it.
You can try to package
98
it.
percentile.
You can try to package it, but it's really just a question of, like you said, IQ, but it's really whether or not the person is willing to consider a new concept. And that concept is that all communication is hypnosis. And for some people they get that, some people reject that, and then they're basically incapable of resolving the paradox because they are so rationally programmed to think linearly, I guess.
Well, look, here's the other part of it. People, generally speaking, people's minds are only changed by trusted friends in real life. That's psychological truth number one. Psychological truth number two, which is the Democrats have figured this out. That's why they want CRT and all of that other race theory and gender stuff taught in kindergarten.
It's not race theory, Alan, it's race therapy.
I know. Because they know if you teach it to a child, the child just assumes it's true and that it's now part of their like the better way to put it is the Jesuits said, give me a child before the age of Christ and I'll have a soldier for Christ. No, give me a child before the age of 5 and I'll have a soldier for Christ for life.
Yeah,
They understood. Get them while they're young, and then
it becomes the bedrock of all of their intellectual aspirations.
Correct. So if your goal is to create some sort of viewpoint change, it has to be done. It has to be done for the simple mind, and it must be done very gently. Because people will also pick up, and it cannot be done with any animosity either, because people will pick up on that very quickly. Now, I will say I went just if that's the view, straighten out the it's cluttered. Straighten out the pictures on the wall. Organize the books so they look like there's some sort of order to them, and you'll be fine. I mean, it gives a sort of, yes, I read, which I know you were talking about, but just that, unless you're going to go full blown like Matt Walsh or other ones that create a specific studio, which would also, you could also go that way too. But
I mean, I could interview people here in my office. It's a very tiny little bedroom, with 180-degree 25 cell phone array that can live stream on YouTube and Instagram. But the thing is, it's like Clubhouse is just immediate content for free. It's a great place to really listen in to how people waste their time. And it's just amazing how, like, Patty's room, politically correct, is always the Trump projection echo chamber. But then I just love when people start talking about the weather and, other irrelevant things, and they get off topic. And it's because even they themselves are exhausted with their echo chamber.
Yeah, I know. And I've always known that when I go, and I just got tired of it, but going into those rooms, I always knew it was like, okay, here we have another black, no, excuse me, we've got another conservative.
Hello?
Let's all.
Hello? Hello?
For fun. And yeah, I got tired of being the white guy they attack. Especially since Douglas is the one who took over that. He's dressed in some purple and an absolute liar.
Yeah, he's a real snake. What was that?
No, you're
Yeah,
right.
thanks.
He is.
Yeah, snake is the correct word.
Yeah, he's a real snake.
Because if you listen carefully, we called him out on it, early on. He never states his actual opinion. You will say, well, I think the military should get involved. And he will then, well, I've got an article here that says the military getting involved is a huge mistake. And now you are arguing against an article which, unless you read it, it could actually say the opposite of what he says. It doesn't matter. He's just picked out this article. He does a quick Google search, picks out an article contrary to whatever you said, and now you're arguing against some writer in some newsroom somewhere. You're not actually arguing with him. So, but I went in one day and he had the whole room agreeing with him that, yeah, the left is crazy, that there should be voter ID. I mean, all of the leftist talking points, they were agreeing with him that they were all stupid.
Well, I just think that the observation that, have you ever been in Jason Muse's room, the Black Muse?
Oh, Jesus Christ. He used to be a nice guy and he turned into an absolute asshole.
Yeah, that's
what were you gonna say?
That's the thing. Is like, see, part of this experience, from a game perspective, is not to like go down these people's holes and play their games. So it's like part of the game for me is just recording them being horribly obnoxious, angry, mean, nasty people like Jason. And I think that's part of my like revenge tour and roast, where I see, because I know like even a lot of people who watch my stuff, it's not like the same for them, meaning that like I'm doing this for me because I hate some of the people here. And when I can mock them and record them and embarrass them or make them think like, oh, this fucker is recording us. I fucking hate this fuck. Like that's part of my 5D game that really gives me great joy. And that's as far as I can take it. I can't like push buttons. I would never make death threats. I would never try to humiliate somebody and demean them by calling them a low IQ, ignorant piece of trash. And they are. And that all the shit that they project onto Trump is actually how fascist and crazy they would be if they were the ones in power. But they're too lazy to ever attempt to even try to get into power because they're on this stupid fucking app running their stupid fucking mouth. So I just love trying to let people know, just tap them on the shoulder and just walk on by and say, hey, I'm listening. And it's a little bit like they're talking in a forest and nobody's listening. And like, I'm that guy who can come by and be like, hey, you wasting all your time.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Well, first, yeah, I agree with what you say about them, and I think really there's very few people on this app that I could say I actively dislike. And most people, like even I don't know if you were in the room, like even Ray Abia, he has like said some really vile things to me. But I don't dislike the guy. And then last night we ended up talking about, we got on to boxing and we were talking about that, and then we ended up talking about movies and how boxing was portrayed in movies and which Sylvester
Hello?
movie was better.
Hello?
Which character was
Hello?
better, et cetera.
Yeah, people's personalities are vast and their interests are vast. And so you can actually connect with anybody eventually. But I'm just saying that from like the opportunity cost observational perspective, when you see how much time, because I have multiple recording studios where I have, 15 phones pointed towards one stupid phone. And that stupid phone is politically correct from 8 a.m. to generally 8 p.m. Like they are on there all day the fucking long and can go for an 8-hour session. So, I'm actually thankful that they do what they do because like I want to record it because people are putting in so much time and energy. It's shocking. But when you actually compare that to a book and that content, that's when you know that there's a significant knowledge difference between the content in a book and the content, that people create here. And so from my perspective, I always want to go back towards the book and say, fuck these people, fuck them good, humiliate them, mock them, document them, and put them in the filing cabinet and the trash can, and go back to the good things in my life, which is the books, not these trash dinner for schmucks people. And I realized one day I was like, I have to stop recording Pepe, because if people watch my content and they hear Pepe, that's basically me speaking, and they think that I am Pepe. So I have to go back towards books. I can't waste my life recording low value content, which is low value people.
I agree. And the fact, and morally, Dan, like 2 years ago, he's on the app and he's got a newborn baby that's crying and that he's feeding while he's on the app. So that newborn is now 3 or 4 years old. 2, 3, yeah. If he's at home, he should be a parent to that kid. Period. He should not be on this app. It's really a failure as a parent.
Well, I'm not here to judge. I'm here to mock and humiliate.
I'm judging, and I say that because at a certain point,
Hello? Hello?
It was very simple. I was not setting a good example for my kid if he sees me yelling into a telephone all day long. So I left the app, and that was it.
If you were,
as he got older, and now, he's out of the house, etc., etc. He's more mature as a person that I came back to the app.
well, if your child observes you reading a book and you happen to have, a social audio conference call app open recording your book so other people might enjoy it, well, that's exercising knowledge. But if
Yeah. But at the same time, Now, I've just given him a directive. I told him, get off the phone and start reading again. So he started reading again.
Hello?
Because he was,
Hello? Hello?
summer break. And he was on the computer and on the phone all day long. Unless I'm like, we gotta go here.
Hello? Hello?
So
Yeah, but what I'm saying is you can use
get
your
off the computer.
you can use your phone with a book. That's the joy. That's the joy, is merging the modern addiction with the old, database, because books are just databases. And so if you read a book out loud and you invest 15 minutes a day to 45 minutes a day to maybe 2 hours a day to maybe 4 hours a day reading out loud, that experience integrates the knowledge at a much higher level than reading silently. Because when you read silently, you're jumping and thinking about other things. But when you record it, you can listen to the replay, and then really get deeper integration and do more contemplation. Because even John Locke said, it's not what you read, it's really how you're processing it, integrating it, etc. So,
Well, congratulations, John. You're the second person I've met
a book
in my life who said that. And I say that because one semester, I forget, either I ate something or I drank something, and my stomach was nauseous or whatever it was, I couldn't sleep. So I spent the night, I had my college course, I spent the night reading the textbook for that course, and I read it out loud, because I knew reading out loud how I came to that realization or conclusion. But I realized if I read it out loud, I'll remember it more easily. So
No,
I
that's
read
exactly
the
how I
entire.
am. I have to read it out loud for me to comprehend it.
Yeah. But I read that entire book, the entire textbook, that night, and I never studied for that course again, and I got an A. Just from that one night.
Yeah, I always tell people studying to pass the bar exam or the LSAT to dedicate some time to recording complicated material and then listening to yourself reading it. And it just amazes me. It's like, people don't know how to actually express their First Amendment right, meaning that because people don't want their identity attached to their online content, people are living in fear of actually creating and using their brain to improve their brain. And then we're like, well, no shit. But this is the problem with our education system, is that we really have we've neutered people's ability to truly learn, because we silo everything, we privatize everything. We don't allow people to actually express their creative research because of the identity privacy concerns. But yet, the whole thing is completely monitored, stored, in order to deliver future advertisements to you. So I'm just saying that, to me, as someone who creates a lot of content, I just wish other people had the courage, the values of the moral strength to actually record themselves being intelligent and creating knowledge and reading books and educating themselves and educating others. Because stupid people like Bima, who's not necessarily stupid, and I like her and she's a sweetheart, but individuals like Bima, who would push back on what I'm saying, they believe that I've heard Bima say this 3 days ago now, and I was still shocked. She said, if you are not actively trying to deconstruct structural racism on a daily basis, you are the problem. And so my response to that is, oh, well, I read books, so, I'm not part of the problem. But just because I read books, I know that there is no structural racism problem, but we have a political ideological problem. So, that's why I say, like, I don't even want to spend time debating or conversating. I just want to get back into the books, because then when I get back into the debating and the conversating and the rhetoric, I'm armed even better to emotionally, intellectually engage with people who are actually very emotionally unstable and intellectually tentative. Hello?
Yeah. Well, first of all, it's good to meet you. Second of all, Bima is actually, I think she's well read, because a couple of weeks ago, she started rattling off all of these titles of books. Now, granted, they were in what one might categorize as self-help / psychology books. Yet they were all books that I knew of. So to me, that indicated, okay, she's done some reading. And certainly she has her perspective. The mistake lots of people make, though, is the idea that everybody has their different interests. And dare I say it, racial issues are not everybody's cup of tea. Or breaking down systemic racism is not everybody's cup of tea.